The nominees for the CAF Awards 2024 are out. South Africa is nominated in all but one category. First one, easy, goalkeeper of the year is easily Ronwen Williams. But the fact that Andre Onana is even nominated is a joke. What the hell is bro even doing here? After the season that he had, we watch football with our eyes. There is no way he should be getting any close to this trophy. He is not the top 5 best keepers of last season or African goalkeepers of last season. And it's a joke that he's even nominated. Sorry. But easily winner should be Ronwen Williams. Finished third at AFCON with Bafana Bafana, was keeper of the tournament, made history saving all those penalties, and remember he saved 4 in one shootout. That's completely history. Finished as a nominee as well for the Yashin Trophy at the Ballon d'Or ceremony, with Mamelodi Sundowns won the league as well, and the first inaugural African Football League. To be honest, this one should be straightforward. If Ronza doesn't win it, we riot, okay? We strike. It's a robbery, because we clearly know who deserves this award and no one can really make a case for the other people. Interclub Player of the Year. This should also go to Ronwen Williams, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything more he could have done as a goalkeeper. He had a fabulous season. This is peak of goalkeeping, right? Especially for an African player playing in Africa. Yes, Zizo, I think, is a fantastic player. He's a fantastic candidate. Amazing with the ball at his feet. But I don't think Al Ali was as successful. Yes, they won the Champions League and the Egyptian League, but I don't think, they were more impressive than Ronwen Williams, together with the fact that he won the African Football League. He won his local league as well, but he also showed up for the national team at AFCON, which is the biggest stage. So I think Ronwen Williams should have 2 awards already. Player of the Year, this should go to Ademola Lookman. Hat-trick in the Europa League final is a huge, big game performance. He led Atalanta to a Europa League after a fantastic Europa League campaign where, if you remember, they smashed Liverpool and they also defeated the undefeated Leverkusen from last season. So yeah, not only that, they also qualified for the Champions League as well. So successful campaign for him. He was the star man. He deserves to win Player of the Year, also because he's playing in Europe's top 5 leagues, which is considered to be more of a difficult task. Shout out to Gurasi as well for the fantastic season that he had in the Bundesliga with Stuttgart, scored so many goals and helped them qualify for Champions League. Adringra stands no chance really. I think maybe it would have been more fair for him to compete for Young Player of the Year. But what is Blood Ashraf Hakimi doing? I know stat padding at PSG and winning what we call the Farmers League doesn't necessarily give you, that accolade. You have to do more, either in the Champions League or either at the AFCON, and we know Morocco failed to deliver, so he also stands no chance. But Club of the Year would be interesting, because you're assuming these teams all won something, right? Mamelodi Sundowns, they won their local league almost undefeated up until literally the last day of the season, where it was taken away from them, record points as well as winning the first ever African Football League. They won that was the tournament for the continent, and all the sort of big teams on the continent participated. Ali won the league, but they also won the CAF Champions League. But Zamalek won the CAF Confederation and then beat Al Ali at the CAF Super Cup. So they also have a decent shout. And I think it will be between those 3. Ali always really win the Champions League. They've won 4 out of the last 5. And, they dominate the Egyptian Premier League. But I do think Zamalek, they have something to show for it, right? The CAF and beating Al Ahly as underdogs, that is something to take seriously. So with that being said, I think it's between those 3 teams. I think it will be tough, but it would be nice if Zamalek was awarded the Club of the Year, because we know Mamelodi Sundowns failed to show up in Champions League, whereas Al Ahly failed to show up at the African Football League, whereas Zamalek, they did the best that they could in the CAF Confederation. They won it, then they beat Al Ahly, who won the Champions League. So I think it will actually be something different, and it will be nice to give it to Zamalek and recognize their achievements from the last season. Now, this is really where it gets interesting. National Team of the Year. Cote d'Ivoire probably have to take it for winning AFCON, right? Completely underdogs. No one really gave them a chance. But DRC Congo also achieved. They finished 4th. While South Africa as well, everyone had written them off. They had not performed out of the last AFCONs, that definitely have not been qualifying for the World Cup. So on a national team scale, South Africa were not supposed to achieve or finish 3rd. Absolutely no way close to that. They were not the bookies' favorites or anything, but they were probably the most impressive team in that competition. So that is also over achieving by Hugo Bros. But Nigeria, with the squad that they had and the talent that they had, they failed to make it at the last stage. They obviously failed at the last hurdle at the final, but they had players like Victor Osimhen, Adama Lookman. They had players, all the players that are in Europe playing in the top 5 leagues that you would expect them to actually win the trophy. They were one of the favorites, maybe not the favorite with Senegal and Morocco, but they were one of the favorites. So I think them not winning it is actually, or finishing second, is not a bigger achievement than, for example, South Africa finished third or DRC Congo finishing fourth. I think those teams completely overachieved, and so did Cote d'Ivoire. So because Cote d'Ivoire also achieved, they were not expected to really make it. I would say the favorites for AFCON was teams like Senegal and Morocco. Truly deserved to win the trophy as the national team of the year. If you also think about how they did it, no one gave them a chance after the group stages. They thought they were done. They thought they were out, and luckily they got in by goal difference or by other teams messing up as much as them. So they made it, and they fired their coach as well. It was so dramatic, but Ames Faye turned everything around for Cote d'Ivoire, and they actually ended up winning the trophy. That is the same speech or the same reasoning I would use for my coach of the year nomination. And I think Ames Faye, even though he just coached a few games, the situation and the circumstances that he took over in to lead Cote d'Ivoire to glory was a fairy tale. Perfect. Yes, he didn't need to be consistent for the whole year and show us whatever. No, I don't care about that. Winning or coming in mid-tournament with such pressure as a host nation on your shoulder, and you take your team to glory up against the favorites or other teams that are expected to do well. Once they were in the knockout stages, he deserves coach of the year. Simple as that. Young player of the year, that's even more interesting. This one, I genuinely do not have a great opinion on it. I do not have a good perspective. Maybe you can share that with me. So I will not give you who I think should deserve it or who I think should take it. So yeah, with that, my knowledge is completely limited. I do not watch enough of these players to give you a very informed suggestion. But that is my view on the CAF Awards. Let me know what you think. I think it's going to be a very interesting ceremony. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.